Welcome. In this episode, we will attempt to answer these following questions. Who is the source? How are babies conceived? How to manifest money in our lives? The main formula for 3D creation. How to be happy? What is human love to you? Why can energy transform but is impervious to destruction? Should you choose love or money? What is your opinion regarding abortion? Imagine yourself in a horrible situation where only one person can make it out alive. Would you sacrifice yourself to save a random child? Is the twin flame relationship real? What is the fastest way to create physical realities? Is it through focus, emotion, or both? And more. My spiritual journey began with me needing clarification about the identity of the source. I used to believe it referred to the soul being who created the entire universe. The truth, however, revealed itself through the extensive research I did for this episode by interviewing various deaf personnel. I also interacted with Source to better understand what I will share today. Are you ready? The Source created souls or EBs, and the essential elements purposed for creating different types of universes. Earth citizens experience life in 3D because the planet is part of a three-dimensional physical universe. EBs can create objects using two methods, and both begin with the mind visualizing the intended creation. The creator can apply intense meditation to manifest their creation into the physical realm. Secondly, an EB can incorporate thoughts with various external elements for creation. Let's look at the essential elements of creation so we can have a better understanding of the intricacies of manifesting physical realities. Everything in the physical universe comprises protons, electrons, and they are called energy. Our creations include physical bodies plus the money we rely on for daily transactions. Our naked eyes are limited to comprehending various forms of matter, yet each object is a unique composition of protons and electrons. The first step to creating anything in the physical universe is breaking it down into protons and electrons. A control experiment to prove this theory revealed that electrons have unpredictable movement. However, when the observer introduced a path, the electrons immediately converged and followed the new path. The source created electrons with fluid properties, making it easy for souls to manifest various aspects of the physical universe. These building blocks are indestructible and can only be transferred into different forms. The key word here is transfer. It's possible to transform your lifestyle into something desired by focusing on the correct set of electrons and protons. The million-dollar question is, how many electrons and protons are needed to influence various aspects of life? In the experiment I mentioned earlier, the observer noticed that protons emit light, which always attracts electrons. Electrons can move in a specific direction or path wherever protons are present. The observer focuses on something, and electrons are gathered in that direction. This is the blueprint for creation. Let's look at how babies are conceived. A man engaged in a passionate sexual encounter will ejaculate upon climax. His sperm acts like electrons because they're designed to seek and bond with the woman's eggs. This is evident in the ovary releasing a single egg while the man ejaculates a fluid containing millions of spermatozoa to maximize the probability of conception. Once the egg and sperm fuse, a soul can decide to enter the physical body while it's in the womb or wait until its birth. How to manifest money in our lives. The first step is believing that the amount you seek is already present and within reach. Focus your mind on your goal. This is your observation or visual image that acts as a proton. Your mind will begin creating ideas that can manifest the money you want. These ideas behave in the same way electrons respond to protons. The main formula for 3D creation. Creation occurs when these conditions are present. Vision or belief plus focus. You need to have a clear vision or a strong belief, then add focus toward your desire to make it into 3D reality. Focus can be had via meditation, writing down your view, or applying your vision by watching videos daily until manifestation. You choose the method of focus that is familiar to you. The key here is to do that until you see the result. The time it takes to manifest reality depends on how many electrons and protons are needed to manifest those realities, your ability to focus long enough to attract enough energy to manifest your desire. How to be happy. The English dictionary defines happiness as the positive emotions associated with experiencing contentment. Can an EB achieve a state of perpetual happiness? The keyword is acceptance. Here's a simple illustration of this concept using a coin. Is choosing heads better than opting for tails? If so, then why? Your personal preference doesn't change the coin's value. So why do we emphasize our differences? Does choosing heads mean it gives me more assurance or happiness than tails? The coin doesn't offer those things. The illustration of the coin toss applies to our perception of other human beings with different beliefs and values from ours. The fact that you have the freedom to choose between heads or tails means that other beings also possess the same right. When you apply this approach, you'll have a more fulfilling life by enhancing your ability to interact with people without involving any prejudice. What is human love to you? It stems from a projection of lack. Here's an example. Consider the aspects you focus on concerning the stranger whenever you encounter someone for the first time. When you befriend or date someone who appears to have more money than you do, it's because you believe there's a lack of money in your life. People choose to associate with those who can provide what's lacking. Human love can lead to unpleasant endings, especially in intimate relations. Sometimes people pursuing self-development can end various relationships after fulfilling what they deeply lack. Why can energy transform but is impervious to destruction? No living being can destroy electrons or protons since no one knows how the source created these essential elements. Our limited intelligence has revealed that electrons and protons are the foundation of the physical universe. When you look at elements in the periodic table, you'll notice that each transform whenever it interacts with a new set of electrons or protons. Hydrogen, for instance, contains one electron and a single proton. When combined with another hydrogen molecule and oxygen, it transforms into water. The same characteristic is present in all the elements found in the periodic table. Imagine yourself in a horrible situation where only one person can make it out alive. Would you sacrifice yourself to save a random child? The answer to this dilemma relies on several factors. Senior citizens well past their childbearing age would pay the ultimate price willingly. Why would they sacrifice themselves for a stranger? It's because their inability to conceive makes them view children as precious. A young man or lady facing the same predicament might choose to save themselves rather than the child. This outcome occurs because the young adult can conceive children with one or more partners. They will apply the same logic and accept that children can sometimes perish due to tragic events. In the scheme of things, however, people, despite their biological conditions, will act in response to the emotions experienced during the incident. The choice of who gets to survive seems to have no moral impact because the source will assess your actions based on your intentions. It is unnecessary to feel survivor's guilt due to leaving the child behind. The source won't accuse you of murder because of choosing to preserve your life. This example relates to the coin toss illustration. Choosing to be heads or tails has no impact on your intrinsic value. Can a soul transcend and become a source? Despite possessing divine abilities like the source, no single soul has the power to transcend and become omnipotent like source. Souls possess a tiny fraction of the sacred skills used to create them. Why did you create souls? Souls are infinite in population, and they exist to provide a learning experience for my existence. They also offer warm company, which I prefer to the boredom of loneliness. Who created romantic love? Humans bond out of romantic love that's generated mutually between two lovers, but aliens created sex to produce a plant-based body. Are you lonely? The fact that I occupy an unknown realm makes it impossible for souls to visit me. In addition, there's only one source in the entire sphere, so loneliness is part of my existence. What is your opinion regarding abortion? I have no opinion regarding abortion. Everything in the physical universe submits to the law of action and reaction. When a person decides to kill another human, a similar fate awaits the murderer. While I don't believe in taking an eye for an eye, the killer won't walk away with a slap on the wrist. They will receive their punishment based on the degree of emotions experienced by the victim during the murder. I won't punish the murderer through death, but I can create unpleasant events that cause them to experience similar suffering to the victim felt during the abortion. Before you plan on hurting someone, pause and ask yourself, would you be okay if anyone else hurt you similarly to how you intend on inflicting harm on that person you dislike or resent? If you don't want to face the consequences, say no. Why does evil seem appealing to some souls? A soul that chooses to become evil is intent on pleasing itself and escaping all consequences. This lifestyle represents freedom to the soul that adopts a lifestyle guided by evil intentions. When a soul chooses morality, on the other hand, their actions produce happiness for themselves and other EBs. Is pleasing yourself better than pleasing others? There's no good or bad in my world because every experience or event is neutral and subject to the law of action and reaction. You will always reap the emotions you sow in other people. Should you choose love or money? My observation shows that most men choose money while women go for love. I recommend that you find someone to love. The bond produced by love will enhance your ability to build wealth and happiness beyond your imagination. Money only makes wealth, but joy has both wealth and money. Is source male or female? I can become whatever you feel that's lacking in your life. I provide fatherly guidance to those in need of a father. My unconditional love and understanding are sufficient for those needing a mother. As the source, which characteristic have you seen repeating itself among Earth EBs? During a crisis, most souls inherently choose to help each other. Only a tiny percentage choose evil as a way of life. Is the twin flame relationship real? Twin souls were created unintentionally since each soul should exist independently. Twin souls, however, are two halves that exist independently but form a complete being when conjoined. Reuniting half-souls is rare since each one occupies a different human body and is birthed by a different set of parents. One half might be born in Europe while the other in Asia, and there's a slim chance that the souls will share a birthday. In addition, each twin has lived and reincarnated repeatedly. The fact that half-souls can reunite and enjoy compatibility despite accumulating a different set of individual desires and habits is an event that occurs against all odds. I release blessings upon such unions through financial prosperity and abundant happiness. Is the value of a twin soul lower when compared to a complete being? No, it isn't because some souls possess identical abilities with the source while others lack a few. It is intriguing how a being having only half a soul can live a life full of tremendous accomplishments. Such outstanding EBs outshine even those born with complete souls. I created souls to get a better understanding of their mysterious nature. Since the beginning of time, my observation has enabled me to guide souls closer to perfection. Is there another being who's omnipotent and omnipresent like the source? I haven't met another being who identifies as source or possesses similar abilities to mine. My existence is mysterious because I cannot explain the origin of my consciousness. The same consciousness is present in all the souls I created. This perspective is what makes everyone created equal. What is the fastest way to create physical realities? Is it through focus, emotion, or both? The events you've experienced personally are like movies derived from different periods of your life. All events consist of electrons and protons. To produce the desired result, having the correct amount of these building elements is crucial. A human body, for example, contains billions of electrons and protons that align with the paternal blueprint known as DNA. Adding or subtracting a single unit of these essential elements can lead to significant differences in the physical appearance of human bodies. This explains why a fetus requires 9½ months to grow, since it needs time to accumulate sufficient electrons and protons. Protons represent the blueprints or movie scripts that define the future life you desire to have. When you focus on a blueprint, you produce many protons and electrons and manifest the realities you seek. It's like building a Lego set, since all the small blocks combine to form one large object defined in the blueprint. The protons guide electrons, and the number of electrons needed to create the physical reality you seek comes from your beliefs or focus. Thus, any creation in 3D must make sure you attract enough electrons to create that reality. You will create enough electrons for that reality by having a solid belief, consistent focus, or both. Would you like souls to contact you? Souls can reach out to me, but it's not mandatory, since ascended masters are nearby to help in many ways. It would be fantastic for both of us if you involved me in the wins and losses experienced in your daily existence. Feel free to use any term: source, father, mother, uncle, aunt, I don't mind it. Only your intention is needed.